Hello, I'm Ben Brain from Digital Camera Magazine, and in this video lesson I'm going to show you how you can easily use the crop tool from the tools palette to resize your images for printing on traditional sized papers such as 8 by 10. The first thing we need to do is to just make sure that we have the right sized image to start with and that it is big enough to tolerate that size. So let's go up to Image, down to Resize, and then across to Image Size. And let's just take a look at some of the figures in our dialog box here. We're going to go down to the document size, and here let's just change our measure to inches, and you can see that we have just over 10 inches in width and just over 16 inches high. And note our resolution is 240. It's important to note what this number is, and anything above 240 pixels per inch is fine, but anything lower than that, and we might be having problems if we're starting to make a print. It's a different matter, of course, if we're working on the internet, in which case you can go as low as 72. But we want to have something 240 or above for making a print. So we know that that's okay. So let's just click OK and keep it set to inches, which is a little easier sometimes, especially when you're working with these traditional photographic sizes. Now, it's really very simple. We just need to go over to the Tools palette on our left-hand side and select the Crop tool. And then you can see we have a number of configurations that we can enter up here. This is the no restriction on our aspect ratio. This means we could crop a square, rectangle, panoramas, whatever. And then there's other measures too, and these is where the more conventional picture framing sizes come in. So let's just drop down to 8 by 10, and then you can see that as I pull the corner here, I'm forced into that aspect ratio. And as you can see, this is creating an image which is slightly shorter than our original. So we're going to have to make a decision as to where our crop comes in. And this is where the crop tool really comes into its own, because if we were to send our image off to an online printer and have them make an 8 by 10 print, that printer would indiscriminately just make its crop, taking an equal amount off the top and the bottom as it is here. However, we want to use the crop tool to get creative with our cropping. So what we're going to do is we're going to specify that our image crops here. So we're just putting a bit of visual creative aesthetics into just making the image come out of the corner here, which is just adding to the image. It's not something that an online printer would do. It would just be indiscriminate about where it made its crop. So that's why the crop tool is such a useful tool for resizing your images. Once you're happy with where the crop is, just simply tick the commit current operation and your crop has been made. There are some other parameters that you can set up here in the menu bar too. In the aspect ratio drop-down menu, you have a number of presets, and these are based on conventional printing sizes used by most labs and online printing services. You can also use the original photo ratio, which will keep things in check with your original composition. You can also go to no restriction, where you can just make your own panoramas or what have you. And if you want to specify your own images, say for example square, you can just type in your width and height and your resolution in these boxes here, and you'll get a standard square. So it's a very simple tool to use. It's ideal for resizing your prints, your images for printing, and that's the crop tool from the tools palette here on the left-hand side. Thank you.